My name is Irene, and I'm a Helsinki-based singer, songwriter, artist. And my roots are in Lapland, near the Arctic Circle of Finland. And my music is quite Nordic, I would say, and quite minimalistic pop music. And usually I start my songs just sitting in front of the piano, and usually they find their form there, but then the production makes them more electronic, and it ends up a mix of acoustic elements and electronic elements.
Okay, cool.
I think sound is audible energy, and it's always hard to describe in words. This is the hardest question for a musician when you ask, what sort of music do you make? Because I can only make what I hear in my mind and in my soul. So it's a hard question, but usually people say that my music has this sort of Nordic melancholia in it, but not in a sad way necessarily, but in a light-filled type of way, and I'm really happy to always hear that.
But if I lift my eyes, you answer with your light. I remember the secret you told me.
Yeah, I think it doesn't only influence my music, but it influences, of course, my whole being. And Lapland is a very interesting place to live because you have so much extremes. You have, first of all, this like really, really long, dark, heavy winter period of time, almost like a hibernation of some sort. And then we have the midsummer period of time when the sun doesn't go down at all. So it's a land of extremes in many ways.
Yeah.
And then when you combine that with the really sparsely populated energy and environment, then you are kind of forced to go inside and look interesting things from your own imagination, because nothing ever happens in these really small Lappish cities. And in my hometown there is 20,000 people, so it's a really quiet place. So I've spent my childhood in my imagination, and I started writing and reading and playing the piano when I was 5. So my childhood is filled with music and stories and books, and I've had to kind of create my own imaginary world because there's so much silence around you. So in that way it can be seen as a very inspirational place.
Yeah.
Can't open my eyes, but I hear the calling from somewhere inside. If there's a beat, there must be life.
It's a really nice question, and I think about this question every day myself, because it remains a mystery. Where do the songs come from?
Yeah.
No one knows.
Yeah.
But I think my songwriting process is an ongoing. It's like a tap that I'm constantly pitching melodies to myself, and I'm constantly trying to figure out how to put words and harmonies and sounds to what I feel.
Yeah.
So it's an ongoing process, and I think most of my melodies come when I walk. So it's really far away from the studio space where I sit in front of the piano. Of course that happens as well. But walking is somehow really good place for me to write songs, because then you have your natural rhythm in your body, and you have that like meditative continuation of repeating movement. So that's a really inspirational place for me to write.
Yeah.
But I think I usually start from a concept. There is usually first some sort of archetypal energy or a certain mood that I'm feeling, and then first and foremost, I'm a writer, so usually I put words on my emotions at first, and then I end up having certain words or a line in particular, and then when I just spend time around those words and lines, then they start to somehow pull some sort of momentum towards them. So this is really abstract, but I think that this is usually how it goes.
Yeah.
And then when you find a chord that fits your mood, and then you find another line that fits the concept and feels truthful of how you are feeling and what you want to, what sort of message do you want to convey, then I think it's accumulation of right words and right chords and right melodies, and if you are really lucky, that happens in a short period of time. But some songs just remain a mystery and they never get finished. You always have to learn the song you are writing.
Yeah.
And then when you start a new song, then you need to learn new things again. So it's an ongoing evolution and development.
Yeah.
And you never become ready. There's no graduation. It's an ongoing journey.
Yeah.
And I think it's a matter of trying to just find answers to the question who you are. We are, as songwriters, we are just getting to know ourselves along the way. And then if we are lucky, we find pieces that feel true, and we learn something about ourselves and something about our human emotions.
Yeah, that's amazing. That's how you can also learn something about yourself, but you can I can learn something about your music and music of like every songwriter. So it's kind of communication also to others about yourself and your life.
Yeah, definitely, I agree.
Yeah.
And to me, music is all about connection.
Yeah.
And it's an universal language that we can speak no matter what culture we come from, or we might not have a common language, but then we can still touch each other's souls and hearts by music. And I think to me, that's magic.
I trust in my own mantra. Whenever I lift my eyes, you answer with your light. I remember the secret you told me 1,000,000 years ago.
It's really important, and I see music as connection, and to me the final completed form of the music is created when I get to create that with my audience. And I think it's really beautiful that you don't even have to have a common language, and you don't have to understand anything about the culture you are performing in, because music itself can create a microculture as such, and that is something that an artist can make or create together with their listeners. So I see music as a form of connection, and that's the most important thing for me.
Yeah. Are you looking forward to perform live in China also?
I am very much looking forward to meet my Chinese audience, and I think it's wonderful that when you make music, you will never know who you meet through that process. And I see audience as my own community, or not necessarily even my community, but a community that is formed around the music. And my job is to create the music that I feel is truthful for me, and it's just an adventure to find out what kind of people it resonates with. So I think as an artist you always have to expose yourself to new energies and new cultures and everything that is new, because that's what gives you more inspiration and gives you an idea that you might have never even experienced without exposing yourself into the world. If I was dropped now in China, I couldn't say anything, but I'm quite sure that music is a language that that always speaks from another heart to another. So that's the beauty of music. It's the first human language that we have.